I hope you have been experiencing happiness in your life today. I hope that you've tuned in today and everything has gone well, because I'm about to ruin that for you. Because today we have Blaire White, and she's a fucking idiot. Are you ready for this shit?
I use they and them as my pronouns.
Sam Smith announced they identify as non-binary and genderqueer. On Friday, the pop singer took to their Instagram to let fans know they are publicly changing their preferred pronouns to they, them.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Know your pronouns, honey. Know your f***ing pronouns. It's a world out here.
It's a world out here.
Today, we're talking about misgendering. Okay, but really. So preferred pronouns and misgendering and alternative pronouns are more of a topic than ever, which is really annoying. In a lot of places, you can be fired for misgendering coworkers or students or teachers. You can face fines for failing to refer to someone as Z and they. You can get beaten up in GameStop now for it.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Presidential.
Can we talk about the excuse me, it's ma'am person for a little bit? Like, I'm gonna assume Blaire White is like a true scum. I'm gonna assume she's transmed. If you don't know what that means, either one of them, basically it means you have to pass to be trans, to like be gendered correctly, and it also means that you need to go through medical transition to be valid, respectively. Yeah, she's a trash bag person. Let's talk about the GameStop it's ma'am lady. She was clearly having a bad fucking day, and then a bunch of people were misgendering her. Have you ever been to a fucking GameStop? GameStop's a fucking trash bin. GameStop is a fucking... If Blaire White's a grifter, GameStop certainly is. GameStop is literally a pawn shop for video games. They run under pawn rules. They literally are dictated by pawn shop law. And that's why they're garbage. They are terrible places. They don't treat their workers good. You can go on YouTube and just type in GameStop. Let's do it right now. There's no way it's a positive video when I type this in, right? When I type this in, GameStop, there's no fucking way. GameStop makes a dumb move. I bought... GameStop doesn't understand retail. Is the end for GameStop near? GameStop comes after me. Absolutely crazy. Ripping off GameStop is easy. Like, this guy, by the way, tells really good stories. He used to be a GameStop employee. I mean, like, GameStop is just a shit show, right? She was having a bad fucking day, and then on top of that, people kept fucking misgendering her. Totally, she's just having a bad day, dude.
Candidates are now putting their preferred pronouns in their Twitter bios.
Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? What's wrong with that? Boing, boing sound effect. That's fine. What's wrong with that?
And it's just everywhere. There is now this huge landmine that you have to walk when interacting with people, and it's just kind of a nightmare. And I have a lot to say, as usual. Big mouth. So I'm going to react to this video about non-binary pronouns by Now This, which is a publication which, when I see it on my feed, I definitely say, oh, now this. Now this? Ugh.
Please clap.
I use they and them as my pronouns. And when someone uses they and them as my pronouns, I feel like that person is listening to me. That person cares about me, and that person wants to have a conversation with me.
That is all super valid.
I feel like if someone tells me they want to be referred to as something, I will do my best to accommodate that. But if you go around in the world with they, them pronouns, you're going to have to expect that 99.9% of people, especially strangers that come across you, are not going to use they, them pronouns for you, because that's just not the way we use language. A lot of language.
Who is this made-up person that uses they, them pronouns that expects someone to assume that you use they, them pronouns? Like, what? Like, I don't think anyone expects that. No one is expecting that is non-binary or just someone that uses they, them pronouns in general. Like, they are not expecting you to just, like, clock them. That's a they, them right there. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't really happen. That happens in spaces where people are probably asking your pronouns anyway. Usually people use they, them as a gender neutral thing. This is the entire conversation that Contra was bringing up, like, last month. I love how she stretched it out to 10 minutes and 1 second. Look at that. Oh, I bet there's a fucking mid-roll on this. I bet it's right fucking here. Somewhere in here. Somewhere in, right there. Boom. That's where the mid-roll is. God, it's so stupid. What the fuck is wrong with you? Dumb. Dumb.
Language like Spanish and Italian actually have everything in their language gendered down to tables being female. My friend told me this, a microphone being male, whatever. So that's no in those languages. And even in English, we only use they and them to describe groups.
No, that's... is she... Oh my fucking god. I know she's been on the internet a little bit. Singular they, them has been a thing forever. Holy shit. It's so... I mean, like... My teacher gave me a bad grade. Oh, really? Why did they do that? Boom. I nailed it. Like, that's all it takes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you really that stupid? God. I just can't fucking stand her face. I can't stand it because everything that comes out of that face is fucking just the dumbest thing I've heard. Everything she says is dumber than the last thing she said.
Or someone whose gender is not clearly visible to us, but it's like if someone cuts you off in traffic and you literally can't see if a man or woman is driving, you will say they and them.
So when I introduce myself, I generally say, hi, my name's Sam Britton. I use they and them as my pronouns, and I serve as head of advocacy and government affairs for the Trevor Project. I give this book.
Hey, nice. Trevor Project. We like the Trevor Project.
Before I even give my job, because it's the important way that you're going to describe me.
I'm sorry, but that's insufferable. You're already giving someone a task when they meet you.
Bitch! Enduring being around you is a task. You give people a task every time you see them as well. Hi, I'm Blaire White. Endure me. What the fuck? It's the same thing as saying, hi, my name's Jake. That's a task. That's the same task. It's just my name. It's the same exact task. It's what? God, you're stupid. Why is she so stupid?
Here's the thing about pronouns people do not understand.
Okay.
Your pronouns are not actually your choice. Stay with me. They're
Yes, they are. Yes, yeah, they are. Yes, they are your choice. They're your choice. Oh.
your choice if your friend is willing to accommodate you and call you they and them or z and zer, or if you're a biological male transitioning to a woman and you
Biological male. Watch me mauled in real time.
you want to be referred to as her, which happened to me when I was younger. Obviously, that in the sense is your choice. However, in terms of pronouns that strangers use for you, people on the street, people that don't know you, it's always going to be based on a subconscious registry of your secondary sex characteristics.
Everyone is aware of that. The thing that they're discussing in this video that you're incapable of synthesizing in your fucking smooth brain is that, hey, once we get to the point where introductions are necessary, because they mentioned introducing them fucking selves, they say, hi, I'm whatever their name was, and I use they, them pronouns. Do you think that's strangers on the street, Blaire? Blaire, do you think that's for strangers? Blaire, is that what you think? Is that what you think with your brain, Blaire? Blaire? Is that what you think?
What I mean by, we make snap judgments in our mind that we don't even think about, it's not intentional, based on the way someone looks, and we use pronouns accordingly, she or her or him and his. That's not someone being malicious towards you, that's literally them looking at you, seeing that you're a man and using he and him. I would look at this person and call him him and he.
Like, the assumption makes things easier.
I don't know what to call that person. You said I was supposed to be able to make a snap judgment. I don't know what my snap judgment is. Right? This is a scenario where I'd be like, hey, I just want to make sure I get it right. can I ask your pronouns? You know? And if they say, like, hey, it's he, him, they, them, she, her, I'll use those, right? Because, like, I don't... I assume it's they, them, because I'm pretty sure this is about being non-binary. But, like, just fucking bring it up. Bring it up if you don't want to misgender somebody. And if you do misgender somebody on accident, genuinely, most people are fucking cool with it. I mean, like, I don't know if anyone's actually just worked in retail. Have you worked in retail and misgendered a cis person before? Because it happens. I used to work at the McDonald's in my hometown in high school and out of it. And there is a person that is a man that lives in that town and is around and has an extremely high-pitched voice, like higher than a lot of women I know. Like Sarah's voice is definitely deeper than this person's voice, and he would constantly get misgendered through the drive-through of that McDonald's until whoever was in the back like had worked there for some time. You know what I mean? Because usually it'd be like, I think we were trained to be like, thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir, stuff like that. And so through drive-through it'd be like, thank you, ma'am, please pull up to the first window for whatever the fucking total is. I almost got PTSD from fucking McDonald's just now. But this happens all the fucking time, and it's not a big deal, right? That person, and granted they don't have dysphoria, probably, I assume. I've seen him around since. He works in town, and is married to a woman who also is, you know, always around, and has always corrected everyone to he, him. Anyway, so granted, it's probably not as extreme, but still, all his life he's probably been misgendered, and he's pretty nice about it. Like cis people get like a woman with a deeper voice happens all the time.
Every single time we meet someone, immediately putting some type of judgment on them really quickly, so we know how to interact with them. But that judgment could be wrong.
In response to that, I would have to say it's not judgment. I feel like that's such a harsh word. It's literally a subconscious registry of what you look like. It's not even a choice. It really is your choice to go through the world assuming that everyone is attacking and judging you.
They never said that people were attacking them. They used the word judgment for lack of a better term. Do you want them to say an internal registry? Like, it's pretty knee-jerk, I'd think. I don't know why this person in the now this video is saying these things, and then Blaire White gets to be like, obviously you're trying to play the victim. Like, fuck you, what? They're just explaining their experience. Can't they talk about their experience? Like, this is for cis people, right? God, I fucking hate Blaire White so much.
The harsh reality is really no one cares. And I think that's the hardest pill for a lot of these gender activists to swallow, is that no one really cares.
You made a video about this. You made sure to extend it to 10 minutes and 1 second so you could play a mid-roll, you dumb whore. God, I hate. Oh my god. Such a right-wing slut face. Oh, I hate it. Just like Jeremy, whore. Just like fucking Dave Rubin, whore. They all whore for the fucking right. It's fucking dumb. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, maybe it's fucking lucrative. That must be it. That must be fucking it, right? Because you just make a bunch of money from right-wingers. I can't believe that your brain is actually as fucking addled, right? It's just how it is. It just must be. Like, we're all whores a little bit, right? I whore out to you guys. You guys like the corn. I put on the fucking hat and you dig it. That's a little bit of me whoring out. But I'm not gonna fucking bend over backwards and say that you're right on a moral issue I disagree with, right? Like, there's a difference. There's a fucking difference. One is you're being entertaining and playing to your crowd, and then two, you're fucking compromising ethics to make money. I hate you. I hate it. I hate it. Also, I'm a whore for trying things. If you send me something fucking weird in the mail, I'll probably eat it. Dude, it's bad. It's bad. Ask Sarah. When we come home from the fucking store, I like start opening things and I'll try like one thing. and I'll close it back up because I just have to try the thing if it's new. It's really bad.
You know, before I fixed a lot of the features that I was born with, I had them and the world saw me as male because of them. And I was even sometimes very early on in my transition when I was trying to get it together, misgendered, or caste registers would call me he, or, you know, whatever. And honestly, did it hurt? Yes. I'm not going to sit here and say that I felt nothing and that it didn't actually have a little bit of a blow to my pride. However, I never took it as an attack. I took it as more of a disappointment that, okay, I'm not doing what I need to do in my transition.
I'm not doing what I need to do in my transition. That is fucking terrible. That is awful. Here's a little message for all my trans fans out there. You don't have to do shit. You're valid. That's the whole thing. That's the whole fucking thing. You don't have to, I hate it. You don't need to look a certain way. Do you see how she looks right here? She's obviously feminine, okay? I fucking can't stand it, okay? I'm glad she's happy with it. This is the type of cis woman I avoid, okay? It's just, do whatever you want to do, right? Look however you want to look. But, I already assume you're an asshole, and then on top of this, you're a trans woman that says trans women, I am your fucking standard. That is disgusting to me. I can't stand that. I just can't stand it. It drives me fucking crazy.
I put the onus on myself that if I wanted to go throughout the world and I wanted to go shopping and I wanted to do whatever and have people around me refer to me as a girl or see me as a woman, then I needed to put more work in and make it happen for myself. Because
hold on a second. From now on, this is what's going to happen when I get a little bit too worked up. We're going to take Hobby, we're going to pet him a little bit, and then I'm going to scream directly into him. I think that helped. I think I feel a lot better about this now. He's very soft. My hair's getting angry too. I'm going to put you back. I'm going to grab you. Okay, I'm ready for more.
Because how narcissistic and crazy would it be for me to police the speech of every single person around me, strangers and all?
How narcissistic and crazy would it be to tell trans people that if they get misgendered, well, haha, just pass better, bucko. What? What? This is such a fucking problem. This is such a fucking problem. It's bad. No. No, Blaire. This attitude entirely erases NB people. Exactly. She's talking about NB people right now. What standard are non-binary people supposed to meet here, Blaire, for them to not be misgendered? What's the standard they're supposed to meet? Androgyny? Because that's not what non-binary people are. Agendered and non-binary people aren't necessarily not masculine or not feminine. They don't have to be 50%. That's not what it means. It just means they don't identify with the fucking gender, in the binary. What? She's not a very smart person. She's got a frictionless orb brain. That's what we were talking about last night. She's frictionless.
And honestly, after transitioning and at the point I'm at now, I have not had that happen for years. I mean, it's one thing to move from male pronouns to female pronouns through a transition or vice versa, but to force people around you to use ze and zer and they and them when that's just not the way humans interact with each other at all, unless you're in these hyper liberal, activisty, non-binary places and spaces. It's just not realistic, it's annoying, and honestly, I feel like it breeds animosity towards trans people.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta. He's very soft. extremely soft.
There's this perception that this is the way trans people speak when honestly 99.9% of the time it's people like this. It's the activists, it's the non-binaries, it's the gender fluids. It's
the non-binaries, it's the gender fluids. You know, people that exist. She's got a boogie. It's driving me fucking crazy. She's got a booger in her nostril right there. You guys see it? Can you see it? Computer enhance. Computer enhance. It's driving me fucking crazy. Enhance. Look at that boogie.
Her ramble was just a gorilla.
Hey, get out of the way, Kira Husk. Thanks for following. Thank you for following. I appreciate you for following. But get out of the way. There we go. Look at that boogie. Good call, baby bird. Prelaton. Becoming a baby bird. Thank you very much for your Twitch Prime. Get out of the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Get the fuck out of the way. Look at the boogie. Stop getting in the way of the boogie. It's awful. What's worse? What's worse? Blaire White's boogie or boogie 2988? That's my question.
Ever just regular trans people that feel that way. Honestly, every trans person I've ever met, pronouns are important to them. You know, when I was transitioning, pronouns were important to me, but they all put the onus again on themselves, not everyone around them. It's
because you're a fucking true scum. You're trash.
It's not anyone else's fault. Funny story that happened just this week. My boyfriend Joey, you guys know Joey, he actually misgendered someone at work. He called me on his lunch break and he was telling me, you know, I feel so bad. There is this trans person who I didn't know was trans. He called me on his lunch break feeling really bad, saying, oh my gosh, I just accidentally called someone who wants to be called a she, a he. And it was a trans woman who I guess was very, very early in her transition, and Joey just didn't know. I mean, for God's sakes, he's literally dating a trans woman, me. I don't think you get more accepting or loving of trans people than literally dating one.
I have a black friend, so I can't be racist. Ugh.
It was obviously completely accidental, and Joey felt really remorseful, and luckily the person understood, and his coworkers and his bosses understood. But there are a lot of places of employment where if that happens, someone's taking a trip straight to HR and someone's losing their job.
No, that doesn't happen. If you accidentally misgender someone one time on accident, that's not happening. It just isn't happening. There's nowhere in the world where that is happening, where someone genuinely accidentally misgenders somebody and then they're fired. You are making this up. Show me an area where this is happening in any way where where not only did they fire them, but they got away with it without a fucking lawsuit. Are you kidding me? This does not fucking occur. I've never heard of this happening. Ever. Not one time. She just doesn't fucking understand anything. Like, pick your nose.
Which would have been Joey if he was working at any of those other companies.
No,
and that
wouldn't
is
have
a
been.
problem. I remember when I started college, it was about a year before I started YouTube, when I had just started transitioning, and I had a lot of those like gender activist-y type friends. And there was this girl who was sort of in my group of friends, and she would literally change her pronouns every 4 or 5 months. Like, it was actually a thing. She was he at one time, she was she.
This person was gender fluid? Can we be okay with gender fluidity? Is anybody fine with that? Anybody? No? Anybody good? Her entire argument here is if you get misgendered, that's your fault, dude, bucko. That's your fucking fault.
Just pronouns out of our minds. And I had the audacity at one point to use he after they had converted to they and them, but I had not heard about this yet. And the drama that ensued, let me tell you, was just so annoying, gross, over the top. This person went around campus, went around to all my friends, anyone who knew me, anyone who has an ear to listen, how bigoted I was and how awful it was and how they were crying for 3 days and having to shower and all this stuff after I called them he when they clearly were presenting as they and them. And I was like, really? It's that deep?
I can't imagine a person actually being that fucking blown up by that one time accidentally being misgendered, right? I can definitely imagine if Blaire White, fucking piece of shit person, routinely misgendered that person.
Who, you know, they want you to misgender them. They want to make a big deal about it. They want to be a victim. It's just so gross. Recently, Sam Smith came out as non-binary and wants the entire world to use they, them pronouns because it wasn't enough to be rich and famous. He also wants everyone around to bow down and...
What? It's not enough to be rich and famous, but I want to be gendered correctly. Fuck you! Are you absolutely out of your fucking mind, Blaire? God, how are you this dumb? Sam Smith says, hey, my pronouns are they, them. Bow down to me? What? It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to use they, them for Sam Smith. They're a singer. What? How often are you talking about Sam Smith and it's a fucking imposition to you? Are you actually this fucking stupid? This is so fucking dumb. You just cape into fucking right-wing idiots. And you know you're doing it. Like, you fucking know you're doing it, right? This came out 3 days ago. She's gotta know she's fucking doing this.
And a lot of people are asking for my thoughts on the whole situation, and what I have to say is, without outing anyone, Joey has some friends that are friends of Sam Smith. I know a couple people who roll with Sam Smith. Hollywood's a small town, get into it. And from what I have heard from all of those people is that he is just surrounded.
He or they.
By non-binary people. He's friends with Alok.
They.
And from what I've heard, his personality.
Their personality?
Type is just very much timid, and you can easily get into his head.
Their head.
Convince him of anything. And so they just rubbed off on him. And that's literally the extent of it, which is honestly kind of sad.
Okay. So the argument here is another conservative argument that people use against trans people all the fucking time. And the argument here is being around these people will make you turn into them. You're going to catch the gay. You're going to catch the trans. You're going to catch the NB. Are you fucking kidding me right now? How are you this fucking stupid? Who have you been hanging around that's sapping your IQ? Who is the gravity well of intelligence that you have been orbiting so that we can get rid of them so that your brain can start functioning at least 10% of what it should? Because holy fucking shit.
But, you know, that's hearsay, so take it for what you will. But
I'm going to take it for bullshit.